Indeed, and this is a very logical position because, as we know, the French president, before he left for this G7 summit in Cornwall, made his position indeed very clear, as have other EU leaders attending here, and that is that the negotiating is done. There is a Brexit deal and it must be respected. So I think the wording coming from the Elysee about the readout on this meeting between the French president and the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is very interesting, because on the French side it's saying we are ready, or France is ready to initiate a reset. That is the word, even in the French version of Franco-British relations, if the UK respects the Brexit deal. From Downing Street, a different readout, Mr. Johnson has told EU leaders he wants, quote, pragmatism and compromise on all sides. So you can see there is still that tension, there is still that gap between the France and other EU leaders versus the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom thinks that we need to keep on talking and that everybody needs to make an effort. The EU position is you've signed a deal, and of course this is referring to this problematic, at the moment, exchange of goods between Britain and Northern Ireland because of the Brexit deal, and how there needs to be a solution found quickly so that there isn't more violence in Northern Ireland because of these consistent problems. So interesting. There were, as you said, other talks with Mrs. von der Leyen and Mr. Michel, and that would have been a very united front. So I think it won't come as a surprise to Downing Street, but on the other hand, the British and EU position is still not on the same page, and that is indeed a problem over Northern Ireland.
And now, in other bilateral meetings, Benedict, Emmanuel Macron will be sitting down with the US President Joe Biden in a few hours' time. We saw the two men yesterday, very warm body language, arms around each other's backs. What can we expect from that meeting?
We did, and this happens in summits. There are the bilaterals, and there are also traditional exercises like the family photo. And it was actually at the end of the family photo that the French president went alongside the American president on his first overseas trip and put his arm around his back, and President Biden did the same thing. And then we got a readout from the Elysee Palace saying that the two men had talked about finding solutions to recovery on the economic level from the pandemic, and how it was important to help their countries and the middle classes in their countries. And also they talked about China, which will concentrate the minds of the leaders this afternoon in the main talks. And that will be interesting because as President Macron will be meeting President Biden, there's a nuance, there is a slight difference in the position. The French position is that there must be no confrontation with China. It is to engage with China and to really make very clear the democratic values. On the US and the French side, there are both concerns, grave concerns, about what is happening and the lack of respect for human rights in China, amongst others against the Uyghur Muslims in the province of Xinjiang. But the US position is much more categorical, much firmer, much more muscles in a sense, and they want actually China to be told properly, and they don't see that. They wouldn't mind much stronger language. So I think the final communique, we'll have to watch it very carefully, because I think there is very much from the EU side and the French side trying to water down some of the language so that it is not confrontational with China.